So yesterday, we worked on him getting out of your personal space, right? Since he seems to... Were you asking him to stop?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can fix that. Ho means hold. Stop. Don't move your feet ever again, kind of thing. He had no idea, or at least...
He does if I'm walking and I do it to abrupt stop, but like if we're like if I don't do it to abrupt stop, like he doesn't.
Okay. So show me the one he knows. Okay. Rub him.
But usually, then he moves again. Like he doesn't stop. So then I always like try to back him up and like wait, but he doesn't always. He just likes to keep going forward. He's constantly going forward and doesn't want to just stand still.
Okay. All right. Well, that gives us something to do.
And the mountain block is the worst because he's just constantly moving around it.
Well, we're gonna do a different exercise that helps with the mounting block, but we gotta fix where his brain is, and his brain is not on standing still, so there's no sense in doing anything that involves his feet yet. Put him inside there, tell him ho, and stand. When he moves out in any way, he has that whole box. Once he comes out of that box, forward, backward, or sideways, yep, he has to stay in there. And you're going to be particular about every movement, but if he doesn't move his feet, he's allowed to move his face. He's just not allowed to move his feet. He can move his feet within the box. He can't move his feet out of the box. And you're going to reiterate the word stand. So, yep, he can stay there first. Now release him. Yep, walk him out. So, it helps to have a word. So stand is a command, like sit, stay with a dog. If you tell him to stand, then he should know that his feet should be planted. If you don't give him a word, he's not really going to know his responsibility. I usually give him a word and I touch them on their nose. So I'll put my hand on their noseband and say stand, and then I'll walk away. Ho, stand. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, release him. And when you release him, you want it to be extremely polite, and you want to be more inviting. You weren't rude, I'm just adding that. So you want it to be like, okay, good. You can even, I use okay as a release, so that they know that not only am I about to start pulling on them if they don't respond to the okay, I gave them the release to move their feet before I pulled on them at all. Same with the mounting block. I say okay before my horse is allowed to walk off the mounting block. Stand. Stare at his knees or his feet. Don't stare at his face. Say okay. Sometimes I even go back up to him, say okay, touch him, and release him. So we're going to work on those yields today too, because he quickly said, "Get out of my face." If you keep everything that you're going to teach him consistent, so like we were going to do it on the nose, you did it on the ear.
Blow my nose. Should I just get down and do it like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Stand. Imagine that you're asking him to look up a word in the dictionary. You want the definition to be the same every time.
Right.
Okay, ask him to. So that's something that you can build on. Being consistent, obviously, about where you tell him with your hand to stand, the word stand. We're going to do some of the driving yields because I want to see that we can. I don't want to touch him because he doesn't want to be touched. So I want to actually do some rhythmic yields, which will help you when you're asking him to get out of your personal space. It's like a turn signal on his face. But we're going to do it to where he understands it's a turn signal and he's not thinking you're just waving your hand in his face. Because he clearly wants to have a conversation with you about that. So we're going to pretend like, yes, you don't bite me. Bite me, your eyeball hurts. Okay, so we're going to pretend like we have a yoga ball and we're going to bounce it between his cheek and his shoulder. Now watch, see your hands going right to his eye. So we're going to do it to the noseband and to the shoulder. When he steps away, stop all that energy. When he steps away, cross over, cross over. Nope, we want him to cross. Yep. Now, the best.
Or not?
Well, I got to fix something else. Remember when I said, no, he didn't do it, crossover? And you went, oh. Okay, you went right from asking him to releasing him to getting right back up there. Okay, so we want to try to manage our energy a little bit to where it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to stop. Because it's not fair to him. You didn't know. Okay, so what we're going to be looking for is the crossover. He liked when I was scratching him on, like, if you run your hand down the front of his shoulder, like his drive line. So like right here, like this whole space right here, he enjoyed that. Okay. Only do like 2 scratches and then be done. Okay, and yeah, he's not really a big fan. I'm sure his belly itches. I'm sure between his chest itches, but I also learned that his back legs, his back legs are the issue, where he doesn't necessarily like his back legs handled. I don't see a snake. Okay.
The back are fine. Like he doesn't hear us usually like us anywhere like back there. Usually the front. Especially when I pick up this leg. It's just specifically this one, I don't know why. But they're like coming forward like this. And then he will and then he'll decide not to. And then he'll do it the third time.
Now, did he hurt himself at one time? Okay.
Yeah, he cut it like open and
So he does have some scratches. That's what my concern was, is that when we make him wrong because we're hurting him, that's not fair. Oh, there's a little bit though, I'm surprised. There's a little bit there. So I don't really see it on the back legs. I was expecting to see it on the back legs. There's a little bit. Okay. So anytime we have problems with our legs, especially, I mean, I'm just addressing it now, but anytime we have problems with the legs, especially, make sure that there's not a pain issue, before we make them wrong for being a jerk. Okay, so I was going to say is that he probably has a spot under here that might, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of gradually look for where he'd prefer. Kind of dull to it. Not there. Notice how he told me not there?
yeah.
Not there. Yeah, and it may not be that he doesn't have a spot. It may that he just is wishing you weren't touching him at all, and he doesn't want to show any enjoyment out of it. Okay, so let's ask him to yield his front legs away, and this one on the nose is going to be the important one because this is going to be your turn signal when you're walking him. So when he fully crosses over, okay, these are the rules. He can fully cross over front or fully cross over behind or do a really long straddle step. This, yeah, this doesn't count. Little shuffles. Yeah. So once you start, now we're going to be fair. So say he's right here. I'm starting right here. Then I'm just coming in. Suggest you move. As he bends his nose around, you're just going to take up the space he offered you. Yep, suggest you move. Now go into the space he offers you. Yep, go in that space. Yep. Now when you get to him, if you have to tap him, yep, stay with it. He didn't do it yet. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Good. Because he crossed behind it first. Good. So he has a little communication about that. Yes. And he's also talking to you quite a bit. Okay. So go ahead and... So he's going to keep shaking his head every time he wants to tell you he's not thrilled. That's his first sign before he does something else. Good? Yep. He crossed heel to toe. So we're gonna take baby steps with him because I think that he likes to think that everybody's telling him he's wrong, where we want him to be right for the little things. Good. So go ahead and ask him again. Step in there. Once you tap him, and don't change it to a push. Just tap, 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 tap. Stay tapping, just in the same rhythm. Yep. As he gives you that space, move into that space. Yep. Put more towards his. Yep. Because now you're up in his eye. Yep. And Okay. So I don't want to see him strike you, so I'm gonna just bother him for a second as he offers to politely strike you. So I'm taking. Good boy. Good. You're right. Good. See how he offered me that last one all by himself, and the reason I'm rewarding him is not because I didn't ask him for it and I want him to be a good boy for doing whatever he wanted to. I wanted to offer him, like, my acceptance or my acknowledgement of his effort, okay? Because he made an effort after fighting. So now he should be like, oh, I get it. He likes to come around with the hind end, too. I'm going to be as polite as I can and as direct as I need to be. Don't go forward. Not about going forward. Not about going forward. You're right, though. It's not about going forward. You're right. Nope, it's not about going forward. Oh, you're right. There you go. There. So I gave that to him because he changed gears on me and said, oh, wait, I really didn't mean to start to have a problem. That's fine. Good. You're right. You are right. You're right. Don't leave. Good job. have you do that. Now,
Switching his tail though, like is that's an attitude.
yeah, but we're not going to do anything. He's got a lot of deep-seated feelings, so we're not going to make him wrong for still having.
I'm just wondering if I'm right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some little flies, whatever, but yeah, he's talking. Right, and now we're going to go back and ask for, yep, a little bit more. Yep, don't go forward. Yep, good. Don't go, don't go forward. Yep, good. But be polite about don't go forward. Yep. Good. So now we're going to try to get in his, because he's gotten away with, not, I don't want to say get away, but he thinks it's a step forward if there's any kind of crossing. There. Good. So you just keep it annoying. Don't get any louder. Don't get any harder. So you're getting louder. So it's turning into a little game for him. At least he's polite about that, if he has to do it.
I just keep doing it because I don't feel like he's gonna move or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I'm just gonna help you. You don't stop. So he waits to see how much more you're gonna offer. So I started to hear you go, right? So he waited for see what else you were gonna put into there. When it's go pull. He's like he likes to watch you dance. Okay, so it's going to be hard to get you guys on a good page together because he has a game with you, and it's like, go ahead, right? Um, I don't want you to get louder. I want you to get quieter. So as it got harder, I actually watched your chest get redder. because you were getting more upset. Okay?
Yeah.
And he was just like, this is fun. Like, he was enjoying himself, believe it or not, because he was watching you get mad. And that's his goal when he's a lead horse. So he believes himself to be a lead horse. And it's not because he wants to be dominant over you. It's more like he doesn't want even you as his pasture mate right now, because he kind of like, you're not his friend. We're going to get him to where it's okay, okay? So we're going to get quiet with him and see if being quiet with him. So, like, I'm going to be real quiet with him, and then I'm going to say, but I don't want that. And I'm going to say, would you please move? Please move your head. Or please move your head. But now I'm going to get loud. But I'm going to say, but I'm not holding a grudge. Okay? Move your head. Okay? See how I offered him the absolute best deal. And then I said, but you're going to listen to me. But I'm not going to say, you got to listen to me, right? Because, oh boy, you did listen though, didn't you? Yes, you did. Oh boy. Because this is something we're going to want to be able to use all the time. And he doesn't need us. See, like as soon as you put your hands up, he gave you, I call this the horn. When horses give you the horn, that's a very dominant move. So when he twisted his head at you, he's giving you the horn. We want to get him to where he doesn't think he has to do that anymore. See how as soon as you push him away, he tipped his head at you. We want to get him to believe that instead of giving you the horn, he's just going to let you do that. He's going to be respectful of that. I wasn't asking him to move his feet. I was asking him to just move his head. See if you can just get him to move his head. Because his feet are planted a lot with you. We're going to see if, there, leave him alone. Love on him. Love on him sweet. Good. Good. Now see, is that sweet though? There you go. So you're going to pay attention to all the things that aren't nice. Good. There. Good. Yep. Okay. Good. Yep. We're going back gently. Say, because all he did was get the wrong answer, but the wrong answer wasn't intentionally demanding, like he wasn't saying, I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Let's give him something interesting to do, and we're going to use that. Okay? I like to use things that are kind of not already in our view, so that way they're also drawn to it through interest. He strikes me as the kind of horse that when he gets to this, he's going to knock it over. So we're going to ask him to. Okay? But we're going to ask him to by directing him. I'm going to move these. So we're going to walk him. You stay there for a second. We're going to walk him over here. He's going to be on this side of us. We're going to walk him to right here. That's going to be between you and him. If he needs to look at it because he's like, oh, we're going to let him look at it. If he doesn't need to look at it for that reason, then we're not going to worry about it. When he gets here, we're going to tell his nose to turn that way. Then we're going to position ourselves where his front feet should have to follow. Then we're going to tell his nose to go that way. Then we're going to leave him in our stand. We're going to come over here. We're going to bring him here, and then we're going to ask him to turn his nose and put his nose on that. He's going to be tempted to look at it anyway. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to keep bringing him to where we can tell his nose to turn. Tell his nose, so we're actually going to tell him to even go farther. Tell his nose to turn. Tell his nose to turn. Put his nose on it. So we're teaching him our direction. Then we don't keep walking. We're gonna bring him to a point. So we'll bring him to here. Tell his nose to turn. When his nose turns, then we'll ask him to walk on. Stop. Tell his nose to turn. Ask him to walk on. We'll do it that way first. Then we're going to do it in a different way where we're going to bring him around this side, and I'm going to have you from in front of him tell his nose to turn and put his nose on it from a different angle. Okay? But we're going to communicate to his nose. Yes. No, we're just going to do this side. Let's start a new language on each thing we do with him. This way, whatever you've ever done before, we got an eraser on that blackboard. Okay? It's okay. No, we're gonna just talk to him from this one side. Okay, so bring him to here, and then stop him. Tell his nose to turn. Good? Good. See, you didn't have to touch it. Bring him to here. Yeah, we're just going to stop at each thing. Good? Now we're just going to kind of control it because I know he wants to go over there. So when he looks straight ahead, I don't know if I can get him to look straight ahead. Okay, go ahead and ask his nose to turn. Yep. Yep. So now take it up to like an 8, just one good bump to say, excuse me, I was talking to you. Yep. Good. Good. There you go. A little late on the good job, okay? Tell his nose to turn again. Gently. Gently. So you go all the way back to the quiet phase. Now we're going to let him put his nose on it. If he wants to knock it over, that was kind of the fun of it. Okay, so now we're actually going to take him away, and we're going to bring him around this way, and then from here and from kind of in front of him, beside him still, we're going to tell his nose to turn that way, because if you can do things from the... Wait, hold on. I get discombobulated. He's coming this way. What side is this place? We're not doing that side. We're going to... No. I'm really confused myself. Oh boy. Let me just only because I'm like my brain's not working for some reason. Oh, bumped your nose. How'd that feel? Right. Good. Here. Here. I'm talking to you. Here. Okay, so we'll bring him like this, and then watch. I'm going to tell him that's far enough. I'm going to tell him to turn his nose that way. And if I have to, because I need a longer hand, I'm going to tell his nose to turn that way by giving him the energy this way. But I'm only telling his nose. Not point at what I want him to look at and say, hey, I didn't tell you to move your feet that much. I'm going to make him put his foot back because I'm going to invite him up to that block because he's assuming something, so I'm going to make him put that foot back. Now I'm going to say, yes, you can look at it now. Okay, so we're going to do stuff like that because now we made it interesting for him, but we told him through language. what we wanted him to do. When you're in front of him, you can extend the line. You're not going to actually touch him. You can extend the line to his nose. I don't care where you have him put his nose, but I'm going to have you, good boy, bring him over to, so he's got to be coming from this side, right? Bring him over to the mounting block. So you're going to be like coming, you'll be coming this way, and then direct him to tell him to put his nose on the mounting block.
So like stop.
Yep, so hold, stand, stay, good. So you're going to stand him, and you're going to get in front of him. Yep, now you're going to tell him what to do with his nose. Tell him to back up. You didn't ask him to move his feet. Good. You're going to point what you want to look at. Point at it. Yep, point with that hand. Yep, but you can have the leading, so the leading hand's the hand that's attached to his nose. You can take the edge of the other rope. There you go. Now, first ask him to see if you can get him by just waving your hand without swinging the rope. So you're going to wave this, you can wave this hand to say, turn your nose that way. If he doesn't, then you're going to extend your hand to get a little closer to his nose by using the rope. Okay, so then the rope becomes, watch his eye. Keep telling him where you want him to go, though. So yep. When he gets the wrong answer, which is that, you're going to give him a little bump. You say, excuse me, you're looking the wrong way. Much nicer than that. There, leave him alone. Bump him so he doesn't go too far forward. Yep. So he's got a lot of leaning forward, so he's likely going to go forward. So we're going to make sure we're ready to gently tell him, but don't go forward. Yep. So have a plan in mind. He doesn't see your plan. You're staring at his chest. And the only reason I'm saying that is that he does not know because you're not focused on what you want him to do. Okay, you're just staring at the horse. Where if you imagine what his nose looks like on that block, he's going to have a better chance of figuring out what you want.
Okay.
So I would watch him, yes, and I would watch his chest. I wouldn't stare at his face, but I would have what that might look like in my mind. Good. That was a good release. It was polite. It was timely. Good. Yep. Good. See, now that said, but don't go forward instead of gah. Right? There you go. Good. Ask him to put his. You've still got your focus on. Put your nose on that mounting block. Yep. Yep. Good. Good. And you notice as soon as you said, oh, I'm supposed to have a vision of that, he went, oh. It's like he picked that up in a second and realized what you wanted. But when you were busy just trying to control the horse, he had no idea what you wanted. You weren't giving him any of that image.
Right.
Good.
Which I have this issue with Ryan. I look at him and think this probably kind of like the same
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely. So let's challenge him a little bit more. I'll give you a big space, but you have to go on the exact space. And you have to be further away. So from here, so you'll have him with you, you'll be in front of him. From here, put his nose on this big brown spot.
From this side?
Yep, you'll be right here.
So just kind of circle back.
No, you're gonna bring him with you. He's gonna be right in front of you. And then you're gonna tell him, I want your nose on that brown spot. Yep. Good. Good. Because you were a little loud and he responded, but you were a little loud. Yep. Yep. Wiggle. Because he doesn't know what you want, he might think to go over it. Good. So now you're going to just tell him gently what to do with his feet. Good. All right. Because that doesn't seem magical. You have to stand here, and you have to tell him to put his nose on that knot. So this is a game that you can play with him to keep his mind busy. It's also a game that you can play with him where at the end of the day, and I actually recommend this for anybody, at the end of the day, have a cookie in some spot that you're going to tell them to put their nose on. So make it the last place you tell them to put their nose on. So that they get engaged in the whole game, because they know eventually they're going to find it. You know, you're playing hotter and colder with it. But this, to each spot, is a hotter or colder game. So you're going to stand at this post, and you're going to explain to him you want him to put his nose on that knot on that post. I would stop him there for sure. And then tell him to stand, use things that he's learning. Good. 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 So now you can challenge yourself is you start picking spots and picking a place for you to be much further away. Kind of, you didn't guide him, but you didn't stay at the post. You know what I mean? I wanted you to stay at that post and send him like you were flying a kite. But that's okay. He did what we asked him to do. He won't do it twice. Okay. So together you're going to walk down this pole. He's going to be on this side of you. Be fair to him on where his feet need to be. Tell him to turn at the end of here. And together you're going to walk that way. Tell him to turn at the end of that. And tell him you're going to go that way. You're going to use your turn signal. Yep, yep. Nope. We're just going to use those as our guides. I like to see people get out of the habit of telling our horse where to go. See how he responded to that? And he hated it, right? But has he once put his ears back when you said turn your head? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and ask him to walk down that. Be fair about where his feet need to be for him to accurately make that turn. So that's not fair. You almost want his back feet all the way to it, to the corner. And give him room. You stay out of his space too. Keep going. Keep going. Yep. He's reading all your energy. All your energy is going, we're going to be doing something soon. And he's like, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do. Now, there. Now, tell him to turn. Yep. 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 Soon as, because now he's going to fight you, so as soon as he offers it, you're going to make sure you release that first positive response. And I'm going to tell you why all that. No, we don't want you to smack him. But you didn't. Okay, wait. Stop. So I said release on the very first positive response I gave you, and you were busy talking to me, so you didn't realize that you did not release when he turned his head.
I was moving in the air and not on him.
Right. And then if you ask for further turn, okay. Yep, yep. So your hand that's like trying to block them over your chest,
In my space, and
well then they can get out of your space. Because all you're actually doing is putting energy there that he's very negatively responding to. So we want you have something now to say get out of my space, right? You have your turn signal to get him out of your space. When I walk them, I allow them to have all of that, and I walk in neutral. You have one hand very active the whole time you're walking with him. And I know that some of it's started because he has his moments. But what we're trying to do is tell him we're building a new relationship where about trust. If you give him the benefit of the doubt that he's trustworthy, he's going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're not going to react to him in any negative way. So ask him to go, and then you go with the neutral. Put your hand in neutral. There you go. And then now you can tell him, get out of my space. Get out of my space. There. There. And then don't hold grudge. Keep going. If he comes back in your space, get out of my space. Right. There. Don't hold a grudge. Just because he had all that communication with you.
complacency that's going on here today. He doesn't want to be mad. He's just mad.